James sat in his cozy book-lined study, scrolling through endless pictures of beautiful epoxy tables on his tablet. His interest has been piqued ever since he saw a stunning piece in a friend's house, a table that seemed to capture an entire seascape under its glossy surface. It had shells, pebbles, and even small pieces of driftwood embedded in it. The table wasn't just a piece of furniture, it was a conversation starter, a work of art, and a tangible memory all in one. He imagined having such a piece in his own home. The idea of owning a unique custom-made table with embedded items that held personal significance was incredibly appealing. But James had no idea about the cost of such an item. Was it within his budget or was it a luxury far beyond his means? To find out, he decided to ask his good friend Robert. Robert was an interior designer with a wealth of knowledge about furniture and home decor. If anyone could give him a ballpark figure, it would be Robert. James dialed Robert's number, and after a few rings, Robert's cheerful voice answered. Hey, James, what's up? Hi, Robert. I'm considering buying an epoxy table. Do you have any idea about the costs? Robert chuckled. Sure. Are you going for a high-end artisanal piece or something more standard? I want something unique, maybe with some embedded items like shells or stones. James replied, picturing the perfect table in his mind. Robert paused, thinking, in that case, you might be looking at anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000. Custom work like that can get pricey. James felt a mixture of excitement and apprehension. He has expected it to be expensive, but the high end of Robert's estimate was a bit more than he had anticipated. Still, the idea of having a custom-made table was too tempting to dismiss outright. Thanks for the info, Robert. I will have to think about it, James said. No problem. If you decide to go for it, let me know. I can help you find the right artisan for the job, Robert offered. Over the next few days, James couldn't stop thinking about the epoxy table. He imagined different designs, visualizing various items embedded in the glossy surface. He thought about incorporating shells from his favorite beach, pebbles from his travels, and maybe even small trinkets that held special memories. The more he thought about it, the more he wanted a table. He decided to do some more research. James spent hours browsing through websites and social media profiles of epoxy table makers. He read reviews, compared prices, and looked at the countless photos of their work. The craftsmanship and creativity on display were impressive. Each table was a unique piece of art, a testament to the skill and imagination of the artisans. One evening, as he was deep in his research, he stumbled upon a website of a local artisan named Laura. Her work stood out immediately. The tables she created were stunning, with intricate designs and a perfect blend of colors and textures. James was particularly drawn to a table that had a river of blue epoxy running through its center, with pebbles and shells embedded in it. It reminded him of the stream that ran through his grandparents' farm, a place where he had spent many happy summers as a child. Inspired, James decided to contact Laura. He filled out the contact form on her website, describing what he wanted and asking for a price estimate. A few days later, Laura responded. She suggested a consultation to discuss James' ideas in detail and to provide a more accurate estimate. They scheduled a meeting at her workshop for the following Saturday. When Saturday arrived, James was both excited and nervous. He drove to Laura's workshop, which was located in a converted barn on the outskirts of town. The workshop was filled with the scent of wood and resin, and the walls were lined with beautiful half-finished tables, each one unique. Laura greeted him with a warm smile. She was a middle-aged woman with an air of quiet confidence and a twinkle of creativity in her eyes. Welcome, James. It's great to meet you. I'm excited to hear about your ideas, she said, leading him to a comfortable sitting area. James explained his vision for the table, describing the items he wanted to embed and the overall look he was going for. Laura listened attentively, occasionally asking questions to clarify details. This sounds like a wonderful project. Laura said once James had finished, I can definitely create something special for you based on what you have described. I will estimate the cost to be around $5,000. This includes the materials, labor, and any additional design work required. James nodded, feeling a sense of relief. The price was within the range he had been prepared for, and he felt confident that Laura could bring his vision to life. That sounds reasonable. Let's do it, James said, smiling. Over the next few weeks, James worked closely with Laura to finalize the design. He brought in shells from his favorite beach, pebbles from various travels, and small trinkets that held special memories. Each item was carefully considered and placed to create a cohesive and meaningful design. Laura kept James updated on the progress, sending him photos and inviting him to the workshop to see the table as it took shape. James was fascinated by the process, watching as the table transformed from a simple slab of wood to a stunning piece of art. The epoxy resin added depth and a glossy finish, making the embedded items appear as though they were suspended in water. Laura's attention to detail was evident in every aspect of the table, from the placement of the items to the smoothness of the surface. Finally, after several weeks of meticulous work, the table was complete. Laura invited James to the workshop for the final review. James arrived at Laura's workshop with a mixture of excitement and anticipation. He had seen photos of the table during its creation, but he was eager to see the finished product in person. Laura greeted him with a smile and led him to the center of the workshop where the table was covered with a cloth. Are you ready? She asked. James nodded, his heart pounding with excitement. Laura lifted the cloth, revealing the table in all its glory. James' eyes widened as he took in the sight. The table was even more beautiful than he had imagined. The shells, pebbles, and trinkets were perfectly arranged, and the glossy epoxy resin gave the table a magical, almost ethereal quality. It's amazing, James said, his voice filled with awe. You have really outdone yourself, Laura. Thank you. Laura beamed with pride. I'm glad you like it. It was a pleasure to work on this project with you. James carefully transported the table home, placing it in his living room where it immediately became the centerpiece of the space. Friends and family who visited were captivated by the table, each piece embedded within it sparking conversations and memories. As he sat by the table one evening, sipping a cup of tea, James thought about the journey that had led him here. From a simple idea to a beautiful reality, the epoxy table had become a testament to the power of creativity, craftsmanship, and the beauty of personal expression. Inspired by his experience, James decided to share his story. He wrote a detailed blog post about the process of creating the epoxy table, from the initial idea to the final product. He included photos of the table at various stages of its creation, highlighting Laura's incredible craftsmanship. The blog post quickly gained traction, with readers fascinated by the concept and the beautiful results. Many people reached out to James, asking for advice on how to create their own custom pieces. James was happy to share his experience, providing tips and recommendations based on what he has learned. He even referred several people to Laura, knowing that she would be able to bring their vision to life just as she has done for him. The success of the blog post sparked a new passion in James. He began to explore other forms of custom art and furniture, attending workshops and learning about different techniques. He discovered a whole community of artisans and enthusiasts who shared his love for unique, meaningful creations. James even started to dabble in creating his own small epoxy pieces, experimenting with different materials and designs. He found the process incredibly rewarding, a perfect blend of creativity and craftsmanship. As James looked back on the journey that has begun with a simple question about the cost of an epoxy table, he felt a deep sense of satisfaction. The table had not only become a cherished piece in his home, but has also opened the door to new experiences and passion. He continued to stay in touch with Laura, who had become a good friend and mentor. They often collaborated on ideas and projects, sharing their knowledge and inspiring each other. Alright, James realized that the value of the epoxy table went far beyond its monetary costs. It was a symbol of creativity, connection, and the joy of bringing a vision to life. And as he looked forward to the future, he knew that this was just the beginning of a lifelong journey filled with beauty and inspiration. Consider subscribing to the channel for more videos like this.